Hey there everyone, what's up? Back today with another impressions video, and this game actually isn't all that new. It came out in August, so that's what, 6 months ago. So it's not incredibly new, but it's not something that came out in the US, and it's something that's easily importable at this point, so I figured I'd talk about it anyway since I just recently finished playing it. And the game we're talking about is all all Kamen Rider Generations 2. And you may be asking, what? That was long, and I don't know what that is. But this is Kamen Rider. Of course, Kamen Rider actually was on TV in the US, albeit I think briefly, and I don't know which Kamen Rider it was actually. So anybody who knows what Kamen Riders were on in the US, just comment below. I have no idea. And as I mentioned, I'm not really a fan of Kamen Rider so much as that when I played Lost Heroes on the 3DS, it's, Gundam, Ultraman, and Kamen Rider. I'm not really a fan of any of those. I don't watch any of them. But out of those three, I thought, Kamen Rider is the most interesting to me for some reason. So I figured, look at some other Kamen Rider games and see if I like the games at least. I'm not going to be watching Kamen Rider. I actually did watch a few episodes on YouTube, but yeah, I'm not going to be like searching down 30 years of Kamen Rider or anything. So, you know, it's not going to be like that. But I am going to periodically be playing some more Kamen Rider games. But this one right here, Kamen Rider Generation, wait, all Kamen Rider Generations. The all is important because first, this game is a side-scrolling beat 'em up, and it's on the PSP. Well, and also the DS if you're interested in that too. So they're both region free, and this game requires no Japanese. It's a side-scrolling beat 'em up. You just beat dudes up. So it's pretty self-explanatory in the gameplay, and easily importable for anybody who wants to play it. But let's talk about it. Do you want to import it? Is it good enough to import? It's probably pretty cheap. I think I paid $30 for it. I guess that's not cheap for if you're not in Japan, but in Japan that's cheap. So, but anyway, what kind of side-scrolling beat 'em up is it? It's not. It's actually reminds me a lot of something like a Golden Axe, the same kind of style, in that you know you travel into areas and you can move up and down on a path, and you can actually kind of move up and down quickly, so you can kind of jump planes, and there's like 3 levels of depth, but you can slowly walk in between those also. So it's not exactly like Code of Princess, but it's got a similar feel in terms of like what's happening on the screen and the enemies that come out. It's not as good looking, but it does have way more characters. Um, it's not quite as good as something like Code of Princess. It doesn't have the same level of like story elements, kind of RPG elements. It does have some though, and I'll get into that. But yeah, it's a pretty solid beat 'em up, I guess. It's not like legendarily good like Final Fight or something, but it's good in the sense that if you like beat 'em ups, you won't be disappointed by this one. And if you like Kamen Rider, you're going to be hyped for this because the amount of characters you can use in the game is way over 50. Um, there's like, if you can think of a Kamen Rider, it's probably in there. It's all the major Kamen Riders plus like all these side Kamen Riders like that aren't like didn't have a show themselves. They were just kind of like extra Kamen Riders that showed up in other people's shows. And it starts all the way back from the first Kamen Rider all the way to present. So it's a pretty wide range of fighters, and they all have their own kind of special moves and their own kind of fighting style. I mean, the punching and kicking is usually pretty much the same, except some people have gun combos in theirs and sword combos and stuff, and they'll all have like 3 or 4 special moves that they can do that are different from each other. So there's a lot of variety in the characters you can use, and I think most people will just pick the Kamen Rider that they like instead of buy the moves. And I mean, I did use all of the Kamen Riders, and I did level them all up quite a bit, but I have my own favorites the pack of Kamen Riders, I guess. And I was using mostly Kamen Rider Stronger and Kamen Rider Amazon and Kamen Rider Skull. Mostly those three, but I was using some other ones periodically. And the reason I was using them all is the game actually kind of gives you incentive to use them, in that each stage has kind of a special clear bonus. So sometimes it's like, get a 30 hit combo in the stage and you'll get a special bonus. Or use this character to clear this stage, or use these two in a combination to clear the stage. And if you use certain characters in a combination, they have some kind of history together. They have actually a special dual super move that they can do, which is usually interesting. They'll team up to do some kind of ultra kill move, which is kind of awesome. It's a 2D game, so they're just sprites that do stuff together. So they each have their own kind of similar special moves. But yeah, good stuff. I want to think, the stages initially when I started playing, and I thought it's really easy. I played through the first. If you play through the game in the first 3 levels of difficulty, there's easy, normal, and hard. And if you can start on each stage, you can select a difficulty, and there's kind of a recommended level for that difficulty level. So obviously, if you pick easy on the first stage, your recommended level is 1. But if you pick hard on the first stage, your recommended level is 4 or 5 or something. So there is a difference, and it matters by the amount of experience you get from the enemies you kill, and their toughness. But it also matters, sometimes the stages change up between the difficulties. So you'll get a shorter stage on easy, or you'll get more enemies on hard, or you'll get more sections on hard. So it actually matters a bit on what level you select. But you'll find that you actually do get a lot of kind of replayability out of each stage, and that the easy stages are usually pretty easy, especially if you use someone you've leveled up, because you could probably beat stages that are 10 levels higher than you're supposed to be, and you'd probably be fine by the end of the stage, because it's really easy to level up characters, especially lower level characters, playing higher level stages, I guess. So I was finding if I had characters who were very low level, I could team them up with a high level and bring them through a high level stage, and they would level up really quickly. You would kill one enemy and they'd level 2 levels or something. So it's not, even though there's a ton of characters, you don't have to really worry about unleveling people, getting people too high of a difference. So that's also pretty good. But I went through and I cleared. There's 50 total stages in the game, and I think there's 37 story stages, and there's 13 extra stages that are a sub-story or an alternate story. And I went through and cleared all of those on each level. And when you clear them all on easy, I usually just went by the stage, just did the same stage 3 times in a row, so I would do easy, medium, hard with whoever I was using. But after I cleared all the stages that way, it actually unlocks 2 more difficulty levels. So you'll get super, or extra hard and super hard or something. I don't remember what they're called. One is called, the extra hard one is climax or something. But when you play those, the level difference is really noticeable. So I was using, by the end, the main character I was using, Kamen Rider Stronger, was level 80 or something, and 99 is the max. But I was oh, level 80, I can totally do these climax levels right from the end. I'll just do the some of the later stages. And that was a mistake. The enemies destroyed me. Even though I was level 80, it got a lot harder on the really hard difficulty. So, if you play through and you think it's too easy, just play through the whole thing on. I believe if you clear them all on hard, you can just get open the next levels of difficulty. So you don't have to play through all 3. But if you think it's too easy, you can just play through it once on easy on the lower level and try it again on the extra hard level, which means you can actually play through 250 stages with slight differences, which is a lot. But there are a lot of characters, and after you beat the game, you actually unlock some kind of enemy Kamen Riders, kind Kamen Riders that fought you during the as bosses in the game. So you'll get extra Kamen Riders at the end that you didn't have access to before. So it even opens up a lot more characters to use. It's a little overwhelming actually because there's so many characters. But like I said, I'm sure everyone has their favorite Kamen Rider if you're buying a Kamen Rider game. So you probably latch onto that one and find a few more that you think are interesting, and just run with it. But I don't actually know anything about the Kamen Rider universe, so I can't comment on the characters they use. I can't say like, oh, they use this enemy from this series or whatever. I can't even do that because I don't really know. I only recognized one character who just happened to be one of the characters that was in the 2 episodes of Kamen Rider Stronger that I watched. And it's pretty interesting altogether, though. It's a pretty solid beat 'em up. That's really all I wanted to say about it. I'm gonna look at the back of the box in case I'm forgetting something. But oh yeah, I did forget to mention that each character has, you are leveling them up, but they each have like some kind of special extra move you can buy. So some characters have like a super ultra that they can buy at the store, and some characters don't. But some of them have like a super special move that is different from their other special move, which makes the each character kind of different in a lot of ways. So beyond that, though, that's probably pretty much it for all Kamen Rider Generations 2. And there is a part 1 that I haven't played, but I'm probably not gonna play it. It's probably pretty similar and has less characters. So, I'm gonna recommend this game if you like beat 'em ups or Kamen Rider, or if you like both, it's probably like something you already own. But yeah, and I'm not even a huge Kamen Rider fan, but I think I'm starting to like Kamen Rider because of these games, not because of the actual show. So the next Kamen Rider game I'll be getting is the PS3 one, Battle Ride War, but that's not for a couple months. But anyway, that'll just about do it for all Kamen Rider Generations 2 on the PSP, and that'll do it for this impressions video. So I will catch you guys next time.